Hi guys, gonna just do a quick video. So obviously we're still trying to decide whether or not I want to go to Bristol, the Hippodrome Theatre, I think it's called, to see Priscilla Presley on Saturday the 4th of October at 7:30. I have my ticket. It was about £70. Even when I bought it, I was only 50-50 if I would ever go. Right now, I don't want to go. Everyone wants me to go. Donna Presley wants me to go. Karen wants me to go. Loads of you guys have said that I should go. Even some YouTube channels have said I should go. I can't make up my mind. So quite a few of you, thank you to Team Elvis, have sent me this guy's video, JR, the King of London. I really like his channel. He's given us a shout out before. He's a good guy, very interesting, and quite sort of, what's the word, extravagant gentleman. I like him. Definitely subscribe to him, JR, the King of London. And he goes to see Priscilla. He was going to call her out as well and ask some tough questions. He's definitely a bit of a defender. He has got a bit of defending in him. Let's watch his channel. Let's watch his video. We're going to start. We have to because it's YouTube. We don't want to get copyrighted. Let's just see what he has to say. Thanks to the people that sent it me as well. Here goes, guys.
Hi, this is JR. Welcome back to the channel. Well, I'm here at the Prince Edward Theatre in London.
So I don't really know that much about this gentleman. I do know he's got a very big channel. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. The subscribers, 111,000 subscribers. Come on, God. That's impressive. He, you know, when you go through his channel, guys, he takes it very, very seriously that he's an Elvis. He loves Elvis, and I've gone through quite a few of his videos, and I like his channel. So let me just quickly click on it, give you a feel for him. See, he dresses up, very smart. He really does look the part, yeah? Look at this, My Showdown with Priscilla, which is, I think, the one we're going to watch. The King in Vegas. He's got, oh yeah, he did the thing at Elvis Evolution. I remember watching that. And he just, it's all pretty impressive stuff, guys. All right, he's got a second channel. I've just seen that. JR, the King of London, Channel 2. I wonder why that is. There's obviously a reason. Fair play to him. At the forthcoming Priscilla Presley show in London, should I defy security and try to film? Well, he did, and let's see what he managed to get. So let's have a look. Is it one of his more recent ones? Okay, here goes, guys.
And it's for the launch of Priscilla Presley's new book. This is the first book she's written since 1985, Elvis and Me. And it comes just a few short years after Lisa Marie's book. And I suspect that Priscilla is releasing this book now as Damage Control because Lisa Marie's book didn't paint her in a very good light at all.
Well said. Of course, we know. I definitely believe that the book, the new book, Priscilla Presley's book, was a reaction to this. This book is a reaction. So,
let's go inside.
He's in London, which reminds me, thank you so much to Nicola. Nicola managed to get some tickets for Elvis Evolution. I can't go, but I still want to publicly thank Nicola. Thank you so much. She said she's going to reach out, I think, to Emma at Just a Girl Who Loves Elvis, and see if she wants it. So, Nicola, you are just very lovely. Thank you so much. So, London, I love London. I do. I have been many, many times to London. My family actually first came to London in the 60s before we moved to my hometown, Weston-super-Mare, which is in southwest UK, near Bristol. Okay, so we've got a bit of history in London, and I do have a couple of relatives in London in New Cross. Okay, guys, here goes.
And see what she has got to say for herself.
I hope the music doesn't get copyrighted, but let's go with it. I don't trust the music, guys. All the Priscilla fans are queuing up. It's a bloody long queue, guys. My God, it's like they're queuing up for Elvis. I keep saying this. Priscilla gets treated as if she is Elvis everywhere she goes. I'm never going to understand it. Even with all the bad publicity, they're still queuing around the corner for her. So he's obviously got inside the theatre. You know, typical theatre, looks very similar to my local theatre in Weston-super-Mare. So remember, he's not allowed to be filming, so he's being a bit naughty. You're being a bit naughty, mate.
Because they're running late, they won't give you it now.
So guys, just so you know, my ticket is on my, so as I face my laptop, it's to the right, near the center of the front. So right, center of the front, facing from the stage. So if I was looking out to the audience, it's quite a good ticket, but it is one single ticket, and it was the last ticket. And there's a big, massive upstairs part, which I think is on 2 tiers. But you know, if I'm gonna go, I wanted to be near enough where I could ask a question and see Priscilla. I must say, guys, if I do go, it'll probably be the last opportunity I ever get to see Priscilla. I don't have any craving or yearning to see Priscilla. It doesn't really interest me. But from the point of view of defending Elvis and Lisa, maybe we can ask a question. I don't know. Maybe we'll hear questions get asked that are unusual. Will they even allow awkward questions? Probably not. I do remember this guy does say later that they were being quite careful with. No, actually, no, that's not what he said. He said they read out all the questions except for his. His question was a bit more difficult. Everyone else's question was quite laid back sort of stuff. So let's just see what it says. So I don't know who this lady is, but let's keep going. Now, I watched her in another interview yesterday, and one of the things she always says is, "Oh, I'm nervous. I'm nervous." Let's see if she says it here.
Well, believe it or not, you know, when I don't know how many people saw him in person on stage, but he had stage fright. And he was really nervous about, you know, who's going to come. And, you know, are they going to walk out? I think a lot of entertainers are somewhat like that anyway. And I'm so glad you're here, by the way, and didn't walk out on me. but no.
If you're hungry, there is some nuggets in the oven and some wraps.
Yes, he was nervous. And it was another side of Elvis that I saw.
Did you see that? I just saw him say that he's got a Riley video. I'd like to see that. Let me just see that again.
Walk out on me.
Oh, look at that. So he's obviously gone and he was there when Riley was there in London. I'd like to watch that. I might have already watched it. Let's keep going.
But no, I'm just kidding. But yes, he was nervous, and it was another side of Elvis that I saw, because he was so proud, and he was, you know, he's a real leader, but he hadn't appeared in so long, and he was older, and he was so concerned if he would even have people come to the show, and it was like, for me, just to watch him go, or have these nerves, and
I mean, my hearing isn't very good. Can you make it out, guys?
and not confident with himself was a whole new lesson for me on what they call stage fright.
Yeah.
And that's really what he had. Obviously, after the first and second show, he became much more comfortable now because the audience did applause, the audience did stand up, and that was the moment he came back again to perform.
And you refer to him a lot as the searcher, and talk about how much philosophy he read to you, and generally loved to read philosophy and to be searching for answers to all sorts of.
It's funny because they'll start talking about the spiritual side of Elvis, the philosophy, and him reading. She hated it. She hated it. She said it more than once. She didn't like it, the fact he was into all those books. Wasn't she even involved when they burnt all the books as well? Wasn't she part of the reason that happened?
Questions?
Yes, if you'd go, no one's going in his room, by the way, that's a no-no. But he had piles of books next to the bedside. And there was a book called The Searcher. There was a book called The Searcher.
Yeah, so, okay, so, we are worrying that she's getting her facts wrong. Obviously, we all know the documentary, The Searcher, yeah? But she calls it the book. Now, was there a book of it? I don't know, yeah? He's saying she got it wrong, yeah? So let me just go back a little bit. I think Priscilla may have made a mistake here. I've never heard of Elvis reading a spiritual book called The Searcher. All of us deep fans know about the book, The Impersonal Life, The Prophet, the Autobiography of Yogi, and others. Okay? So she has been making mistakes, a lot of mistakes, in the different interviews she's done. She's actually on tonight in the UK at 7 on BBC One on the One Show. So I'm going to tune into that as well. So dementia, Alzheimer's, there's definitely something going on with her, 100%. Someone even mentioned to me that her breathing has become awkward, yeah? So let's keep going.
There was a book called The Searcher. That's why I named the show The Searcher. And he was looking for something. He was God-fearing, very much so. And he would look for so much leadership in these books. And at that time in my life, I was not interested at all. I mean, he'd read the books and he'd read,
Well, at least she admits it.
Read things to me, and I'm trying very hard to understand it. It was a little deep for me. I was like 18, a little bit deep. I'd rather talk about something else.
Didn't she just say she was 18? Is that correct? Was she 18 when he was reading all his books? I'm sure she was older. Now, I'd have to look it up. What? It was obviously when Elvis met Larry Geller. Should we ask ChatGPT? Yeah. Come on, we're learning together, guys. When did Elvis meet Larry Geller? Does anyone know? It was in the 60s, wasn't it? It could have been 63. I don't know. Here we go. Elvis Presley met Larry Geller in 1964, April. Yeah. So, Larry was a celebrity hairstylist in Hollywood who had worked with the stars like Steve McQueen, Peter Sellers. Elvis' personal hairdresser at the time, it used to be someone called Homer Gilland, introduced Geller to him. Their meeting took place at Elvis's home on Pergia Way in Bel Air, Los Angeles. That meeting began not only a working relationship. Larry starred Elvis' hair for concerts, movies, appearances, but also a deep personal bond. Geller became Elvis' spiritual advisor, introducing him to books, philosophy, religion, and mysticism, which had a strong influence on Elvis' personal life. That's interesting. So how old would she have been? So in 63, she's 80, 64, yeah, 90. Actually, yeah, she could have been 18, 19. Let's keep going.
And sometimes I kind of doze and he goes, "Are you not listening to me? I'm doing all of this." And you're like, no, he's not saying it in a bad way. I'm doing all this and reading him. And I want you to listen. Are you not? I go, no, I'm totally listening to you. In fact, it's so interesting. I have to close my eyes.
So I know that it's funny. Look, I get it. Not everyone's into spiritual stuff. Yeah, I get it. I mean, I had a spiritual phase in my life 10 years ago. I still find that they're laughing at Albert. They're laughing at him. She's laughing at Albert. I don't really like it.
Of course, when he started Vegas, he was gone a lot. It happened.
Well, he was working. See, this is the big thing here. Priscilla marries Elvis Presley, a superstar. He goes away through the 60s to make movies, through the 70s to do his concerts. He's Elvis Presley. He needs to bring the money in. He has fans. He has hundreds of staff. He has massive overheads. So he had to go away to work. Without Elvis...
When it hit me, we had a home.
So guys, if my wife turns up, I'm going to have to stop, okay? Let's just see what happens.
In Palm Springs, and as well as we did in Beverly Hills. And he was in Vegas, and I told his cousin, who was and is still my best friend, I said, oh, I haven't been to get the mail since he was in Vegas. I better go check it out. So we drove up. I checked out the house, making sure it was okay. And the cleaners had cleaned everything because he was coming back in the following 2 weeks. And
I've only
saw
got
the
2
mailbox.
minutes left.
It was packed with mail. A lot
Have
of
a
it was
little go now.
And I said, you know, I have to go out and get all the mail.
No chance.
So when I got home, I started looking at the mail.
I've nearly fit 2 minutes on this.
And there was a couple of them that had, oh
Yeah.
dear Elvis, it was so great
Good to
being with you. I had the best time. I can't wait until we meet again. Okay.
I've been out for about an hour. I've only just got back.
Um,
1 second, I need to
another
finish and I'll get it.
Elvis, I'm so glad you like my friends, Cynthia and Caroline. And we stayed up until 6 o'clock in the
Put that
morning,
CD on a minute, I
talking
need to
and having
finish.
fun and laughing. And
Actually, I know where it is. I charged it next to my bed.
Wow, he's got a better life. There's a whole other life that he has.
So, this is the whole Elvis was unfaithful, blah, blah, blah. We've heard it all before, but she never mentions that she was unfaithful. Yeah, they were both being unfaithful, guys. So Elvis wasn't ready to settle down, wasn't ready to get married, was not engaged, didn't have kids. We're talking the 60s here, yeah? Yes, I do think that once he gets engaged in around December 66, and then through the marriage, through the pregnancy, I think Elvis was faithful through the pregnancy, through the marriage. After he catches Priscilla being unfaithful, it's a different story.
And try to push it away. And I said to Patsy, let's go up and see, anything that's going on this weekend. There are guys who are out there. Her husband worked for Elvis too, as one of the Memphis Mafia. And we went up again, and sure enough, there were about 4 or 5 cars there. And there were girls that were there, up there with the guys. And they were in the swimming pool. And I said, I can't take this. I cannot take this anymore. And I just...
I mean, she's jumping the gun a bit here, isn't she, right? But, okay. I still have to say what I'm going to say, guys. They were both naughty. They were both not ready to be married. They were both not ready to have Lisa.
There's just another life he was living. Even though he would come home.
But she was living another life as well. If you study it properly, just after the marriage, within a year of the marriage, she's unfaithful with the dance instructor. Then within another 18 months, she's with Mike Stone, the karate champion. Everything is blamed on Elvis.
And be, daddy, and he would be loving. I just couldn't get it out of my head, and I, this hate nagging. He did not like women nagging. Well, what did you do this for? How come? Why didn't you tell me this? Blah, blah, blah. Could never do that with him. So I had to be...
Pretty average husband. Do you know what? Women don't like the men nagging either.
Basically just go with the flow. And that's when it got to be too much for me, and I decided, it's just time for me to go. And
see, the bit that bugs me is that it's always Elvis's fault. Everything was Elvis's fault. She does nothing wrong. Priscilla did nothing wrong. Remember, she's living like a queen. They've got cooks and maids and cleaners and blah, blah. Everything is done for them. Everyone waits hand at foot for Priscilla. Priscilla would have been living in luxury. And it's like, oh no, I can't handle this no more.
Let him have the life maybe that he wanted.
Well, what about the life she wanted? Remember that. Remember, she blames Elvis for leaving, but how about she had aspirations, ambitions? She liked men. She fancied other men. She wanted to be wealthy and famous, be on TV, be in movies, get it? Have businesses, have money. You know, she never throws that bit in. The truth is, Priscilla, once she got a taste of the good life, she wanted it all for herself. She still fancied other men. That's the truth of it, guys. Okay, Elvis fancied women as well. Yeah, they both were not right for each other. It's that simple, in my opinion.
I was coming out about actually just getting my hair done. And my sister calls and said, Joe Esposito just called and he said...
All right, so they're talking about the day he lost his life. I do want to just throw in, before we move on to that part, that... Yes? No, I got nuggets. No, and they're nearly done. They're nearly done, mate. Like my kids in. They're nearly done, mate. So I'll get your food in a sec. I just want to say, everything, I keep repeating this, everything's Elvis's fault. Priscilla takes no responsibility. She never says sorry. She never admits wrongdoing. Everything is Elvis's fault. She can write a whole book blaming everything on everybody else. That includes her daughter. That includes Michael Jackson and other people. Nothing is Priscilla's fault.
He needs to talk to you right away. And I went, okay, so can you call him back? And I had to, for Joe to call me and say it's important, you know, I knew it was something, but never, ever did I think he was Elvis. And I sped to the house, quickly called Joe. I said, Joe, what's going on?
Well, do you know what? She says never, there's no way I thought it was Elvis, but come on, guys. She used to pick up and drop off Lisa. She used to speak to Elvis on the phone. He was clearly unwell. You know, he had put on weight. He was bloated. So to say that she had no indication of that Elvis was unwell, I don't know if that's true. Hang on 1 second. And then the other thing was to remember she placed a debt. She placed a debt on Graceland when Elvis was very sick in April of 1977. This is how much she cared. She threatened, you know, this debt, this lien that was placed on Graceland. Come on, could you imagine how that affected Vernon and Elvis? Yeah. So did she even care about how he felt? I question if she did. She said, oh, we were better apart. We were getting on really well. I just don't think so. She was hammering him for more money for the second, maybe third divorce. Clambering for more money. In 1977, she was still grabbing for more money, even though Elvis was still going through a bad patch with this book being released as well. The betrayal of Dave Hebler and the Memphis Mafia guys, Red West, Sonny West. So... she speaks about how devastated she was when he passed, but come on, guys, she's probably with another man. She was with another man, wasn't she? She'd left him 4 years before he died. She was unfaithful twice then. She had ripped him off. She had hammered him for some horrible divorce settlements, really cruel, greedy divorce settlement. She'd done some serious damage, yeah. So she'll try and play the grieving widow. She was never his widow. She even acts as if she was still married to him when he died. They weren't, guys. I don't think they were even close. I don't think they were even hardly talking. That's just my opinion.
Trying to reach me, and he told me, you know, that Elvis wasn't well at all, and that that he passed, and I literally couldn't digest this. This couldn't be real. And I said, Joe, you know, that's just gonna kid around. And he said, you know, you might want to get here right away. And so, of course, arrangements were made. She sent a plane for me, a private plane. And in the meantime, as I'm going through this in days, I could not get it in my head, you know, that we had lost Elvis. And I had just talked to him a couple of days before. I just talked to him.
I wonder what that conversation was. Were they arguing? Were they arguing about Lisa? Was it about money? Was it about the debt placed on Graceland? Was the divorce stuff still happening? Were the lawyers demanding more money? Was she demanding her next installment of money that he owed her because Elvis was paying her in installments? He was giving her spousal payment. Who knows what that last conversation was?
And it sounded fine. And then to hear this news, it was literally, like all of us, I'm sure, have lost a loved one. And it's devastating. It is truly devastating.
And she talks about it as if she was still with him, still married to him. I know I sound a bit cold, guys, when it concerns Priscilla and her grieving for Elvis, but come on, I'm not falling for it. She divorced him years before he died and was multiply unfaithful to him. Yeah. So, and she was having a very full life away from Elvis with other men. So I'm not convinced, guys.
Then you start thinking, my God, you know, I'll never see him again. What about Lisa? How do I tell Lisa? And it's funny, I think our children take things in what they do. Like I said, when she was outside of Graceland, she was riding her bike with her friend. And knowing that her dad had passed, it didn't really register.
I mean, the bit I saw, she was on the go-karts, but I'd have to double check that.
Halfway through this show, there was an intermission. At this point, a QR code appeared on the big screen, and if we scanned it, we could submit questions to Priscilla through our phones. I knew this was probably the only chance I would ever get to ask her a deep and meaningful question.
So obviously, this is what is going to happen to me. If I go on Saturday at 7:30 in Bristol at the Hippodrome, this is what's going to happen. Yeah. So I will be able to QR code it and submit a question
about Elvis. So I submitted my question about Elvis's lifelong spiritual journey and his quest for the eternal answers. However, the host, Hannah McGuinness, did not read out.
So Hannah McGuinness is the host. Does that Hannah go with her to the different theatres, or was that just for the London event?
My question. In fact, she read out every other question apart from mine. So instead of us getting a deep understanding into Elvis's soul, we instead got questions about the TV show Dallas and how does Priscilla keep fit. Great job, Hannah McGuinness. At this event, we didn't really learn anything new, and it should be noted that Priscilla did not comment on Lisa Marie's book or the allegations in a recent lawsuit that she stopped our beloved Lisa Marie's life support.
Which is a big thing, guys. Massive thing. We're all concerned. We're all worried. Okay, guys, I've got to go. Got to cook some dinner for the kids. A brilliant little show, mine. Thank you very much to JR, King of London. Please subscribe to him. Fantastic. King of London. Brilliant. Brilliant.
Hello, today.
Right, I'm definitely not going to play any music. So, okay, guys, I've got to go. I'll try and come back in the morning. Thanks for joining me. Thanks to Team Elvis, defenders of Elvis around the world. We unite to defend. And am I going to go? Don't know. Haven't made up my mind. Probably not. It's this Saturday. So what do you think, guys? Leave it in the comments. Take care, guys. Love you all.